Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football mock draft. Today's mock draft is a 14-team PPR league from the sixth spot for one of my subscribers, John Adams. Thank you for commenting on all of my videos. It means a lot to me. And if you guys want me to do your mock draft, I'm going to try and do everyone's mock draft. But obviously, there's only so many days left in August, and there's so many people requesting them that it's going to be hard to do every single person's, but I am going to try to do every single person, so you can count on me for that. So before I start this video, I'd like to ask if anyone who's not already subscribed to please go down below and click that subscribe button, because I'm going to help you win your fantasy football championship from making the correct decisions on draft day, from helping you decide who to pick up from the waiver wire, who to start on your team, and who to trade, who to keep, all that type of shabiz. So we're going to get right into the video. So like I said, it's the sixth pick in a 14-team PPR draft. The roster settings are one quarterback, two running backs, two wideouts, a tight end, flex, kicker, defense, and six bench spots. So we're going to just begin the draft here. The first pick of the draft was CMC, followed by Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, DeAndre Hopkins, and Alvin Kamara. Pretty typical here now. Ezekiel Elliott, as I'm recording this video at 3:25 p.m. on the 5th of August, Ezekiel Elliott still has not signed, so I'm trying to avoid Ezekiel Elliott at all costs here because I don't want to have a guy that's going to hold out. Now, Jerry Jones reported, and he says that he's going to get a deal for Dak, Amari, and Zeke. They're all three of them. We're going to get the deal they want. Hopefully that happens for fantasy, but we don't know right now, so we're kind of avoiding that situation. Now, it's a 14-team league, so right here at the sixth spot, I believe that if DJ was to fall to you here, you would definitely have to pull the trigger on DJ. Now, if DJ doesn't fall to you, since I know you are making, or this is for your real draft that is tomorrow, or today, actually, when you're watching this, you are going to want to pick Adams here if you don't end up getting DJ, in my opinion. So we're going to go with David Johnson here, the best running back available on the board, someone who is looking to really to have a true year like he should have had last year with a upgraded team, better coaching, all that shabazz on the Arizona Cardinals. So after we picked David Johnson, Michael Thomas was picked, followed by Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, James Conner, Le'Veon Bell, Odell, Juju, Travis Kelsey, Joe Mixon, AB, Chubb, Keenan, uh, Adam Thielen, Mike Evans. So these guys, one, two, three, four teams went with the double wideout strategy, which is not very common in my opinion in these 14-team leagues, because in a 14-team league, the running back it's a lot harder to find running backs later because of how many teams there are. There's an extra, if you're not used to a 10-team league, there's an extra 4 picks each round. If you're in a 12-team league, there's an extra 2 picks each round you're used to. So it's just very weird, and a lot of the depth at running back falls late. So I'm surprised so many people went the double wide receiver strategy. Now, if this was to happen, which it obviously could happen, 4 teams could do this, 3 teams could do this. This guy went with a tight end early, and in my opinion, in a 14-team league, the tight end isn't as important. So I would have just avoided Kelsey there. So we're going to go with running back again because, like I said, I think it's important to get 2 great running backs here. Now, since you are drafting today, if you're drafting today, you would kind of need to be wary of Damian Williams. Now, I love Damian Williams. I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him a lot. But at the exact same time, I am not sure if I would be able to pull the trigger here. I probably will, but his hamstring issues do bother me, so I would try to handcuff him with Hyde or Darwin Thompson later because of that reason. I think he'll be fine by the time week 1 starts. Andy Reid seemed a bit pissed off at him for not being able to come back, but obviously he hurt his hamstring a week or two ago. Maybe not even. And it takes time for that to heal, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm kind of worried about it, but I shouldn't be too worried about it. If you wanted, you could go Dalvin Cook here. Personally, I don't like him that much due to his injury history. Now, he's 2 years off the ACL, which obviously means the ACL should be completely healed. But last year, he played iffy certain games. He was injured, and he's kind of an injury risk in my opinion. So I'd like to go with Damian Williams here anyways. But I wouldn't hate if you went Dalvin Cook, or even if you went with Marlon Mack here, due to the fact that Andrew Luck has that calf injury and they maybe like to run the ball a lot. So it proved very helpful that we went running back here because a running back run happened. So after we went D. Will, Dalvin Cook went, followed by Melvin Gordon, Aaron Jones, Pat Mahomes, um, Leonard Fournette, Zach Ertz, Amari Cooper, Devontae Freeman, Stephon Diggs, carry on, my wayward son, Johnson. So the first quarterback does end up being selected at the 213. Now I'm not sure how your guys' leagues work, but if you're in a at-home league with just a bunch of friends, it's more likely that some guy will be willing to pull the trigger on Pat Mahomes in the first or second round. Now, if you're in a more serious league, in about the third or fourth round is where you're likely going to see someone pull the trigger at the quarterback position. The third, fourth, fifth round, it may fall to the fifth round if you're in a more something that involves more money and more skill. Even if it may be a $200 league and someone could take Pat Mahomes in the first round, you just never know the people you're playing with. So it's easy to figure that out though, because if you've been playing the league for a while, you can go to the draft settings on your website or the draft history on the website on Yahoo, ESPN, NFL, CBS, any website I'm pretty sure has the draft history, and you can check to see when quarterbacks were taken last year, so that you can easily figure out around where the quarterbacks will get taken. So right here, we could go with the coveted the three running back strategy and get Marlon Mack here to ride as our flex. But I'm not really wanting to do that because I think I should probably get at least one wide out here and maybe in the fourth round go for another running back. So right now, in my opinion, T.Y. Hilton is the best wide receiver available. The one thing that does worry me though, and it worries me a decent amount, is Andrew Luck's calf injury. Now, Andrew Luck, this has been happening to him since April. He's had this calf strain, calf hurtness. I don't know what the fuck the injury exactly is, but he's had it since April. He says he's good to go for week one, and I hope he is. And I'm still willing to take Hilton because I think he's such a good wide receiver that no matter who's playing quarterback, if it's the backup for the first couple of games, T.Y. Hilton should still produce decently enough to be worth the pick here. But if Andrew Luck, it comes out he's out all season, then I would not want T.Y. Hilton. So, because I think you can survive the first couple of weeks with T.Y. Hilton having not as good of production. So, after we picked T.Y. Hilton, Julian Edelman was picked, followed by Philip Lindsay, George Kittle Me Timbers, Marlon Mack, Josh Jacobs, Robert Woods, Mark Ingram, AJ Green, James White, Kenny Galladay, David Montgomery, Brandon Cooks, Derrick Henry, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Chris Godwin. Nothing too out of the ordinary here at these picks. Pretty normal, like I always say. Kelsey, Ertz, Kittle, all gone typically before the end of the third round or the end of the fourth round. Normally they're all gone. So, right here, one of my favorite running backs did end up falling to us that I like to target in the third, fourth-ish round area, and that is Mr. Chris Carson, running back, Seattle Seahawks. Now, Chris Carson, this year, in my opinion, is going to be great now. As long as he doesn't get hurt, I believe he should be able to hold the job from Rashad Penny. I think Rashad Penny's going to have a great year too, but I think Chris Carson is going to be the running back one on that team unless he gets hurt. And even then, even if he gets hurt, he'll come back and it'll be a 40-60 split, a 50-50 split, something like that. And Chris Carson is on the most run-heavy team in the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks love running the ball. And having one of those running backs, especially the number one running back on that team, for your fantasy team is crazy value to get in the fourth round. He is the most underrated running back, in my opinion, in this draft. I don't know why anyone in their right mind is taking Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry ahead of this guy. Even James White. I take him over James White, even though I do like to target James White. So we're going to go with Chris Carson here. After we selected Chris Carson, Tyler Boyd was selected, followed by Jarvis Landry. And then never mind, the website did not glitch. I spoke too soon. After Jarvis, Cooper Kupp went, followed by Tariq Cohen, Andrew Luck, Mr. Calf Strain, Kenyon Drake, Mike Williams, Sony Michel, Evan Ingram, DJ Moore. So these middle round tight end guys like Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, Eric Ebron, OJ Howard, Jared Cook are all going to go around this area from around the fourth or fifth round to like the seventh round, and then they're all going to be gone. They may all go right in a row. A run could occur where they're all gone. So now it's our pick, and right here we're just going to go wide receiver because I would like to get my second wide out. So right here we're looking between Alshon, Dante Pettis, Robbie Anderson. I don't personally love Alshon Jeffrey a lot. I'm sort of starting to warm up to Alshon because of how well he played when he was with when he was with Carson Wentz, and he's been healthy. And typically when he goes healthy into camp, he has a great year. But I don't necessarily love the Philadelphia offense too much. I think they're going to be better this year. But as long as Carson Wentz can stay healthy, they're good. But Carson Wentz obviously has this injury history. Everyone is sucking Carson Wentz off, and I don't really know if he's the guy. They should have kept Foles, in my opinion. I like Foles better. But so I think I'm going to avoid Alshon Jeffrey here. So it's between Dante Pettis, the 49ers wideout, or Robbie Anderson. Now, right here, you could take the pick of one or the other. Personally, I think I like Pettis more. I think Robbie Anderson developed a great connection with Sam Darnold at the end of the season, and if that continues throughout the whole season, and Le'Veon Bell is able to make space by being someone who the defenses have to be scared about, a guy who can run the ball very well, and a guy who they need to cover, they need to cover because they're gonna throw if they dump the ball off to Le'Veon, he could fucking go for 50 yards or some crazy shit because he's that good of a running back. So I think that Robbie Anderson obviously has some solid value here, but I prefer Dante Pettis due to the fact that he played great with Nick Mullins. He played good with Nick Mullins, some guy who wasn't even verified on Twitter until the Thursday night football game. So think about Jimmy Garoppolo throwing him the ball and how much better that'll be. So we're gonna go with Dante Pettis here. After we selected Dante Pettis, Tevin Coleman came off the board, followed by Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, O.J. Howard, Lamar Miller, Robbie Anderson, come on, Austin Eckler, Alshon Jeffrey, Hunter Henry, Baker Mayfield, Allen Robinson, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Rashad Penny, Eric Ebron, Jared Cook. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks have been taken off the board before the 6th round. Typically, that's pretty typical, I would say. In some leagues, they may go even earlier than this. Like you may see Rodgers be gone in the 3rd or 4th round, Watson and Luck gone in the 3rd or 4th round, entirely possible. But these guys going around here is very normal. Now, we currently have 1, 2, we got 3 running backs, and we got 2 wideouts here. So we're going to try to get some more running back depth onto our team. Now, right here is quite the hard decision. It's between Latavius or Darrell Henderson. Either or I'm okay with, but I'd prefer to get Latavius Murray because I know his role. I know for a fact Latavius Murray is going to be a solid flex option in fantasy because he's going to be running the ball a lot. He likes running the ball. And they're going to run the ball a lot on the Saints. And I know that, well, not a lot. He's not going to be getting a lot of touches, but he may be getting 10 touches a game. He can do something with that. He can get some goal line work when they want to take Alvin Kamara out because Alvin Kamara's tired. They throw Latavius in. Latavius scores a touchdown. He's in that Mark Ingram role from last year, and you guys saw Mark Ingram succeed a lot towards the end of the year. It'd be a solid flex option, and I think getting a solid flex option in the 6th round that's a running back that you wouldn't necessarily hate starting, especially in such a big league like this, I like that pick. After we picked Latavius, Christian Kirk came off the board, followed by Miles Sanders, Will Fuller, Jordan Howard, Geronimo Allison, Larry Fitzgerald, Darius Geist, Darrell Henderson, Carson Wentz, Vance McDonald. Quarterback still available. Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Jared Goff, James Winston, all guys that I like. So currently, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks have been taken out of 14. And my favorite tight end targets are all gone. They're all gone. So we're just going to wait. If we wait and Njoku's here for us or Hooper is here for us in the 8th round, I'd be willing to take it. But if not, we'll just wait slightly longer. Now, with the running back position, there's not a lot of running backs that I'm really wanting to get on my team. Did Carlos Hyde already go? No, he did not already go. So maybe we'll be willing to go Carlos Hyde in the next couple of rounds at running back. But right now, we want to get a wide receiver because we only have 2 of them, and the quarterbacks go late. Or we have 1, 2, we got 3 or 4 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and the tight ends and quarterbacks you can get semi-late. So, right here, in my decision-making in my head is between Sammy Watkins, Marvin Jones, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling, or D.D. Westbrook. Any of these guys, in my opinion, could be a great pick here. Sammy Watkins played amazing in the playoffs, and I really want to get a piece of this Kansas City offense. I already got Williams, so I would like to go Watkins here, but I would also really like the upside of Marvin Jones, as well as Marquez Valdez-Scantling and D.D. Westbrook. And I think I also really want a piece of the Green Bay Packers offense. The number 2 target on their team, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, seems like a great pick here, and I'd love to get him on all of my fantasy teams. So we're going to go Marquez Valdez-Scantling. After we went MVS, Kyler Murray went, followed by Kareem Hunt, Royce Freeman, Sammy Watkins, Sterling Shepard, Marvin Jones, D.D. Westbrook, Ronald Jones, Russell Wilson, David Njoku, Corey Davis, Jared Goff, Chicago defense, LaShawn McCoy, Cam Newton, Damian Harris. So now it's our pick. So currently, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of the 14 teams have a quarterback. So I think right now is about where I'd want to pull the trigger on my quarterback and get a guy that I think has super high upside, and that is famous Jameis Winston, the crab stealer himself, because he is going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to be on the offense a lot because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense sucks ass. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play in a division where shootouts are always happening. Every time they play against the Saints, the Panthers, they play against the Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons. 6 total times. Every time they're in one of those games, it's a shootout. None of their defenses are very good. They just rely on the quarterbacks, the running backs, and they fucking have at it. And Jameis Winston is going to eat in those games. Sure, Jameis Winston is going to throw picks. That is obviously something that could scare you. Now, if you're in a league where you get 4-point passing touchdown and you lose 3 points for throwing a pick, I'm less likely to pick Jameis Winston. But in normal settings where it's 4-point passing touchdown and you lose 2 points, or 6-point passing touchdown and you lose 2 points, I'm perfectly fine going famous Jameis here in the 8th round. After we selected famous Jameis, Philip Rivers came off the board, followed by N'Keal Harry, Curtis Samuel, LA Rams defense, Emmanuel Sanders, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Samuels, Kiki Cootie, Dante Foreman, TJ Hawkins. So the website needs to fix Dante Foreman because Dante Foreman got cut, so don't draft Dante Foreman. He's not even on a team right now. Don't draft the defense this early either. The Bears or the Rams, don't be doing that. You can get your defense in the last round, and they will be perfectly acceptable. So now we are in the 9th round. We currently do not still have a tight end, so maybe we'll look for Hooper here, but I'd rather just wait a bit and build some more running back depth. We've got 3 wideouts, 4 running backs, 3 wideouts, and a quarterback, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to build some more running back depth and go with Peyton Barber here, who could end up being the running back 1 on the team and could be, obviously, if he's the running back 1 on Tampa Bay, that's going to have some solid value this late in the draft. Now, I know Peyton Barber, not the best running back, not even that good at all, but if he's the running back 1 on the team and he stays in that job because Rojo just has proven that he can't do it, then this is a great pick here. So we're going to go Peyton Barber. After we went Peyton Barber, Deshaun Jackson went, followed by Jacksonville Jaguars, Austin Hooper, DK Metcalf, Dante Moncrief, Jerick McKinnon, LA Chargers, James Washington, Golden Tate, Carlos Hyde, Paris Campbell, AP, Ito Smith, Anthony Miller, Baltimore Ravens. So we're not able to handcuff with Carlos Hyde, but we can get Darwin Thompson later, who's going to obviously get some work if Williams is not able to play, so that's fine. So we are going to go a wide receiver here to get some more wideouts. Now we're looking here. It gets quite thin at wideout and running back this late in a 14-team league. But we only have 3 wideouts, so we need 1 more here. So we're going to, typically I like to finish the draft with more running backs than wide receivers. Unless it's a 3 wide receiver league and with a flex, that's typically the only time where I'm ever willing to make it even or more wide receivers on my team. So we're going to go 1 more wideout here. A guy that I think is going to have a solid year. And that is Tre'Quan Smith. He is going to be the wide receiver 2 on New Orleans. They need a wide receiver 2 on New Orleans. Tre'Quan Smith did it a few weeks. He was solid in fantasy, and I think that this year is where he truly breaks out and is a solid option every week for Drew Brees, and is a guy that you could probably start in your flex in a lot of weeks. So we're gonna go with Tre'Quan Smith here. We're gonna hope that he's able to do it. And he seems like the best option available at this point, so I'm going to go with him. So after we went Tre'Quan Smith, Kalen Ballage went, followed by Tom Brady, Alexander Madison, Dak Prescott, Delaney Walker, Cleveland Browns, Kyle Rudolph, Devin Funchess, Devin Singletary, Lamar Jackson. So now is right about where we need to pick this tight end because he may not come back to us in the 12th round, and that is Mark Andrews. He's a late round tight end that a lot of fantasy experts are targeting, and for good reasons. Mark Andrews is going to truly have a breakout season this year. In training camp, Lamar Jackson is really targeting Mark Andrews. He is his safety blanket. Now, I know you may think Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. I semi-think that as well. But from all of this stuff that's came out of camp, Lamar Jackson, according to all these beat reporters, seems like a new quarterback. He can actually throw the ball. Mark Andrews is going to be catching a lot of touchdowns and a lot of balls for this team. And even last year, he was doing that and where he wasn't even the tight end one. It was Hayden Hurst. Now this year it's going to be the Mark Andrews show, in my opinion. Hayden Hurst will go out there. All their other tight ends will go out there, but Mark Andrews is going to be the typical one out there the most often, and we're going to go with Mark Andrews here. I feel pretty confident in him. He's not as injury prone as a guy like Gregor Olsen or Trey Burton. So after we went Mark Andrews, Naheem Hines went, followed by Tyrell Williams, Justice Hill, Greg Zuerlein, Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jackson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Houston Texans, Deion Lewis, Justin Tucker, Kirk Cousins, John Brown, Marquise Brown, Denver Browns, the Denver Broncos, Greg Olsen, Trey Burton. So the running back we wanted, Justin Jackson, has been selected. So we're just gonna pick. Ooh, fuck. Right here is a hard decision. Do we want to handcuff our guy or get a guy that I think could be really good in fantasy? And right now, I don't think he'd fall back to us, so I think we're just going to have to do the handcuff, even though I wouldn't necessarily do it every time, but I'm kind of scared of Damian Williams getting injured, so I am going, or not being able to play week 1 or 2, and then just losing the job, so we're going to go with Darwin Thompson here. After we went Darwin Thompson, Mecole Hardman went, followed by Devontae Parker, Noah Fant, Jordan Reed, Stephen Gostkowski, Matt Breida, Kenny Stills, Mitch Trubisky, Chris Thompson, Harrison Bucker. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs and 1, 2, 4 receivers. So we're going to go with one more wideout here. And we are just going to go with... Actually, I don't love any of these wideouts really, so we're actually just going to go with another running back here and hope that one of these running backs are a ticket to the championship. So we're going to go with a guy that a lot of people don't know, Tony Pollard. So this pick is only good if Zeke doesn't sign. Tony Pollard will be the number one on the team if Zeke doesn't sign. Anyone could really run behind the Cowboys line, in my opinion. So I think Tony Pollard will be pretty solid. And Dak talked him up about being good. So we're going to hope Tony Pollard's good if he ends up playing, if they don't meet a contract. So after we went Tony Pollard, Josh Gordon went, followed by Alfred Morris, Marquise Goodwin, Michael Gallup, Will Lutz, Josh Allen, Andy Isabella, Jack Doyle, Kai Fairbairn, Giovanni Bernard, Jimmy Graham, Duke Johnson, CJ Anderson, a bunch of kickers, so we're going to go with the defense. So the way you're going to pick a defense is you're going to go on Google, type in NFL schedule week 1, and then find the defense that's playing a shitty offense week 1. My favorite target, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Giants. Whether it's Eli, like I think it is, Daniel Jones, doesn't matter. They have no wideouts. They're going to be throwing picks out the ass. Saquon will probably still score 2 touchdowns, so you're obviously not going to get a lot of great points from that, but they're so late. They go so late in the draft, the Cowboys. You don't have to worry about pulling the trigger early on them. And they also have a good week 2 and 3 matchups, so you don't even have to drop them. You can just ride them for a couple of weeks. So we're going to go with the Cowboys here. After we picked the Cowboys, the Patriots went, followed by the Titans, Eagles, Giorgio, Trevecchio, Deshaun Hamilton, Matt Stafford, Jamison Crowder, Dan Bailey, Mason Crosby, Albert Wilson, and now it is our pick, so we're going to go with the best kicker available, and that's Michael Badgley. If we went Badgley, Carr went, Mohamed Sanu, Ted Ginn, Cole Beasley, Jalen Richard, Indianapolis Colts, Debo Samuels, and Adam Humph Daddy. So our final roster is Famous Jameis as our quarterback. Our 2 running backs are Mr. DJ, David Johnson, and Damian Williams. Our wide receivers are T.Y. Hilton, Dante Pettis. Our tight end is Mark Andrews. Our flex is Chris Carson. Our kicker is Michael Badgley. Our defense is the Cowboys. Our running back, or our bench, consists of Latavius Murray, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Peyton Barber, Traquan Smith, Darwin Thompson, and Tony Pollard. So thank you guys all for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please click that subscribe button down below. It would mean a lot. You're going to be getting all the content so you can win your fantasy football championship. Click that like button while you're also down there. Leave a comment about whatever you want. Have a great goddamn day, guys. I'll see you guys in the second video today. That should be out at 1. Have a great day, guys. Goodbye. I love you guys. Bye.